This is why African weddings used to last 7 days, the dark ritual you never heard about. Before white dresses, before wedding cakes, African weddings lasted 7 days, not for fun, not for show, but because of a ritual so intense. Some families stopped doing it out of fear. Let me tell you why. Day 1, the ancestors awaken. Day 1 wasn't about the bride or groom. It was about those who came before. The entire clan gathered to honor the ancestors. Libations were poured, drums echoed through the village, and names were called into the wind. In some regions, like among the Igbo and Akan, it was believed the spirits of the ancestors had to approve the marriage or misfortune would follow. If the wind shifted the wrong way during the prayers, they would postpone the wedding. And I know someone who experienced this. Her name was Maame Efua. On her first wedding day, the libation gourd cracked in half. The elders paused. That night, they told her a family secret. She was betrothed to another spiritually, from birth. Day 2, the bride's clan gathers. Day 2 was for the bride's people. But it wasn't a party, it was an investigation. They asked, "Who is this man? What's his family like?" Background checks. But with cowries and riddles. Among the Yoruba elders would ask the groom trick questions, tests of patience, humility, and even farming knowledge. One wrong answer, they'd reject the marriage. But in Maame Efua's case, the elders uncovered something worse. The groom's grandmother had cursed his bloodline 3 generations ago for betraying her sister. That curse still active. Day 3, secrets revealed. Day 3 was known as the Day of Shadows. Families shared their secrets once hidden for years. Because you can't build a union on lies. This is where Maeme's father revealed he was not her biological father. The real father. A warrior from another tribe. One that the groom's family considered enemies. Now, the entire wedding was at risk of collapse. They were no longer just lovers. They were symbols of a forgotten war. Day 4, the gifts speak. Day 4 wasn't about what you gave it, was about what it meant. In some traditions, like the Shona of Zimbabwe, gifts had layers of symbolism. A goat didn't just mean food, it meant fertility. A mirror meant honesty. But if a gift was rejected, it meant one thing. The ancestors weren't satisfied. Her fiancé brought gold, wine, and rare beads. But one item, an anklet carved with snake patterns, was instantly rejected. Why? Because snakes were sacred to her maternal lineage, and never to be worn by outsiders. It was seen as a mockery. That night, it rained for the first time in months. Some said it was a sign. Others said it was a warning. Day 5, the night of testing. Day 5 was never spoken of in public. It was the night of testing. In private, older women would teach the bride the secrets of marriage, emotional strength, spiritual cleanliness, and intimacy rituals. Some were gentle, others were spiritual confrontations. In some tribes, the bride had to sleep alone in a sacred hut, with tokens from the groom's family. If she dreamt of darkness or death, it was seen as a bad omen. But for Mom, she dreamt of a serpent biting her finger, and blood turning to sand. She woke up screaming. The elders gathered immediately. The wedding was halted. They declared, "The spirits do not approve." Day 6, cleansing and hope. Day 6 was for healing. Even when things went wrong, African tradition believed in balance. They cleansed Mom with herbs, smoke, and water from 3 rivers. She was told to walk backward at dawn, 7 steps, without looking behind her. As she did, the village said a butterfly followed her the entire time. And when she returned, she said, "I saw the face of my mother's mother." She smiled. This was taken as a sign that the curse had lifted. Day 7, the union. The final day was the celebration, but only after the storm. The marriage ritual, dancing, feasting, but most importantly, the binding ceremony. A single thread tied the wrists of the bride and groom, as their families stood around them. The thread had to burn evenly on both sides, or the marriage would not last. Mom and her groom sat in silence. The thread caught fire and burned evenly. For the first time in 7 days, everyone exhaled. But here's what no one knew. That dream with the snake. Years later, Mom gave birth to a daughter with a birthmark shaped like a serpent's fang. The elders say she's the bridge between spirit and earth. And some say her story is not yet done. If you want more tales that go beyond love and into the soul of African traditions, subscribe now. We're just scratching the surface of our legends. And trust me, the next story, it'll haunt you. Thank you for watching.